When following a truck at night, it is important to dim your headlights. A. True. B. False. This sign means A. No U-turn. B. No turning. C. No left turn. A. No U-turn. This sign indicates that you may not make a U-turn. You cannot turn around to go in the opposite direction at an intersection where this sign is posted. It is illegal for persons under age 21 to drive with any trace of alcohol or drugs in their system. A. True. B. False. A. True. It is illegal for anyone to operate a motor vehicle on Illinois highways with any trace of a controlled drug, substance, or intoxicating compound in the blood. Drivers under age 21 will have their driving privileges suspended for 3 months if they are found to have had any trace of alcohol in their system after being stopped and issued a citation for a traffic violation. Yellow lines separate A. Traffic lanes on one-way streets. B. Traffic moving in opposite directions on two-way roads. C. All carpool lanes from regular traffic lanes. B. Traffic moving in opposite directions on two-way roads. Yellow lines mark the center of a road used for two-way traffic. A solid yellow centerline indicates that drivers may not cross the line to pass. A broken yellow centerline indicates that drivers may cross the line to pass, but only if passing would not interfere with traffic.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
From top to bottom, the following is the proper order for traffic lights. A. Red, yellow, green. B. Red, green, yellow. C. Green, red, yellow. A. Red, yellow, green. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign warns drivers about the presence of traffic signals at an intersection ahead. A sign with this shape means A. Railroad crossing. B. Warning. C. Signal ahead. B. Warning. A diamond-shaped yellow sign warns of possible danger ahead. Orange signs, which are mostly diamond-shaped, are used to warn of possible dangers in or near work areas. This sign means A. Cars on the right move first. B. You have the right of way. C. Let cross traffic pass before proceeding. C. Let cross traffic pass before proceeding. When approaching this sign, you must yield the right of way. Slow down and let vehicles and pedestrians crossing your path pass before you proceed. If necessary, stop before going ahead. This road sign means A. Watch for people crossing your path. B. No passing zone. C. Work zone ahead. C. Work zone ahead. This orange warning sign tells drivers that an area of roadwork is upcoming. When traveling through a work zone, stay alert for temporary traffic control devices. Which of these statements is true about roadwork zones? A. Fines are the same for violations committed in work zones as they are under normal traffic conditions. B. You must slow for the cone zone. C. Slow down only if you think workers are present. B. You must slow for the cone zone. Reduce your speed and be prepared to slow down or stop for highway equipment. Driving carefully through work zones improves safety for drivers, pedestrians, bicyclists, and road workers. This road sign means A. Slow down or stop. B. Stop if necessary. C. You must come to a complete stop. C. You must come to a complete stop. An octagonal sign always means stop. When approaching a stop sign, you must come to a complete stop at the marked stop line and proceed only when it is safe to do so. If there is no stop line, stop before the crosswalk. If there is no crosswalk, stop before the intersection at a point from which you can see oncoming traffic. When a motorist is turning right and a bicyclist is approaching on the right, the motorist should let the bicyclist go through the intersection before making their right turn. A. True. B. False. A. True. If you are turning right and a bicyclist is approaching on the right, you should let the bicyclist go through the intersection before making your turn. To prevent yourself from becoming an aggressive driver. A. Relax and concentrate on driving. B. Drive above the posted speed limit. C. Tailgate the driver in front of you. A. Relax and concentrate on driving. To prevent yourself from becoming an aggressive driver, concentrate on driving and don't take the actions of other drivers personally. Be realistic about your travel time, drive within posted speed limits, and be forgiving of other drivers using the roadway. Children on bicycles should be given extra space by motor vehicle operators because A. They do not have the same physical reflexes as adults. B. They are smaller and more difficult to see than adults. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. Children are often the least predictable pedestrians and the most difficult pedestrians to see. Take extra care to look out for children, especially near schools, bus stops, playgrounds, parks, and ice cream trucks. Be aware of children riding bikes on the sidewalk, as they may come onto the road unexpectedly. You are on the freeway and traffic is merging into your lane. You should A. Make room for the merging traffic, if possible. B. Assert your right-of-way by driving faster. C. Always maintain your position. A. Make room for the merging traffic, if possible. When traffic permits, you should make room to allow vehicles to merge into your lane. This sign means A. Slow down, curving road ahead. B. Slow down and do not use your brakes. C. Slow down, slippery when wet. C. Slow down, slippery when wet. This sign warns that the road ahead becomes slippery when wet. This sign means A. Railroad ahead. B. No passing zone. C. School zone. A. Railroad ahead. A round yellow sign indicates that there is a railroad crossing ahead. When on a two-lane roadway, a driver must stop their vehicle when approaching a stopped school bus with its red warning lights flashing and stop signal arm extended. A. True. B. False. A. True. Unless the school bus is on the opposite side of a 4-lane roadway, drivers are required to stop before overtaking a school bus that is loading or unloading passengers. A driver approaching a school bus from the opposite direction must come to a complete stop and remain stopped until the stop signal arm is no longer extended and the flashing lights are turned off, or the school bus driver signals vehicles to pass. This sign means A. Trucks under 18,000 pounds are allowed. B. Hill ahead. C. Truck stop ahead. B. Hill ahead. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign indicates that there is a steep hill ahead. Slow down and be ready to shift to a lower gear to control your speed and protect your brakes from damage. Which of the following is not a safe driving practice when driving on the interstate? A. Slower traffic must keep to the right. B. Change lanes without signaling. C. If you miss your exit, you must go to the next exit. When driving at night, you should A. Always use your high beams. B. Look directly at the headlights of an oncoming vehicle. C. Increase your following distance. C. Increase your following distance. Driving at night is more hazardous than daytime driving because the lowered visibility makes it difficult to judge speed, distances, and other potential hazards. Increase your following distance to help prevent a potential collision if the vehicle in front of you should stop abruptly. Use your headlights when driving at night, following the rules for proper usage of high beams and low beams. Within how many feet is a driver required to dim their high beams before meeting another vehicle? A. 250 feet. B. 400 feet. C. 500 feet. C. 500 feet. Bright lights must be dimmed 500 feet before meeting an oncoming vehicle or 300 feet when approaching a vehicle from behind. This sign means A. Stop sign ahead. B. Railroad crossing ahead. C. Construction ahead. B. Railroad crossing ahead. A round sign always indicates that you are approaching a railroad crossing. This sign means A. Pedestrians walking along the road ahead. B. Pedestrian crossing ahead. C. Pedestrians must not cross here. B. Pedestrian crossing ahead. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign alerts drivers to where pedestrians may be crossing. If a pedestrian is crossing in a crosswalk marked with this sign, drivers must stop and remain stopped until the pedestrian is no longer in the crosswalk. This road sign means A. Hospital. B. Upcoming intersection. C. Railroad crossing. B. Upcoming intersection. Warning signs provide notice to road users of a situation that might not be readily apparent and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns drivers of an upcoming intersection so they may prepare for potential traffic or prepare to turn. If you can see that the roadway up ahead is covered by heavy smoke, you should A. Turn on your four-way flashers and continue. B. Reduce your speed, move as far to the right as possible, and stop off the roadway. C. Turn on your high-beam headlights and continue. B. Reduce your speed, move as far to the right as possible, and stop off the roadway. If you notice that the road ahead is covered by heavy smoke, reduce your speed immediately, drive as far as possible to the right, and stop off the roadway. Only then should you determine if it is safe for you to continue. Remember that certain kinds of smoke can irritate your eyes and lungs or even kill you. Talking or texting on a cell phone while driving will not significantly increase your chances being involved in a crash. A. True. B. False. B. False. Using a phone while driving is a distraction that increases your risk of being involved in a crash. If you are involved in or come upon a traffic crash, you should stop your vehicle in a safe, well-lighted public place that does not obstruct traffic, if able to do so. A. True. B. False. A. True. If you are involved in or come upon a traffic crash, you should stop your vehicle in a safe, well-lit public place that does not obstruct traffic. If possible, help any injured persons if necessary, or if they ask you to, call 911 immediately. Warn other drivers by using emergency flashers or flares if available, and ask everyone involved for their names, addresses, phone numbers, driver license numbers, and license plate numbers. When should drivers yield the right-of-way to pedestrians in a crosswalk? A. Only if the pedestrians first wave to the driver. B. Only if the pedestrians are not texting while walking. C. At all times. C. At all times. Bring your vehicle to a complete stop at a crosswalk to yield the right-of-way to any vehicle or pedestrian already in the intersection. You may carefully proceed if your lane is completely clear. If arrested with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.08% or more, an individual's driving privileges will be suspended for at least 6 months. A. True. B. False. A. True. If a chemical test reveals a driver's blood alcohol concentration (BAC) to be 0.08% or higher, their driving privileges will be suspended for 6 months. If you are about to be hit from the rear, you should not A. Release your seat belt. B. Brace yourself. C. Press your head against the head restraint. A. Release your seat belt. If your vehicle is hit from the rear while you are in forward motion, your body will be thrown backward. Brace yourself by pressing against the back of your seat and putting your head against the head restraint to prevent whiplash. Maintain a firm grip on the steering wheel and be ready to apply your brakes to avoid being pushed into another vehicle. Blue traffic signs offer information on A. Motorist services. B. Construction and maintenance. C. Mileage information, such as distances to specific locations. A. Motorist services. Blue signs on the roadway are service signs. They are used to provide information about motorist services, such as upcoming rest areas, food options, or nearby hospitals. If a vehicle starts to skid on water, the driver should quickly apply the brakes. A. True. B. False. B. False. If a vehicle skids while hydroplaning, the driver should try to regain control of the vehicle. If that is not possible, the driver should release the accelerator and ride out the skid. The driver should not immediately apply the brakes. This road sign means A. All traffic must turn right. B. All traffic must go straight. C. A side road intersects ahead. C. A side road intersects ahead. Warning signs provide notice to road users of a situation that might not be readily apparent and are usually yellow with black markings. This warning sign tells drivers to be alert to an intersecting side road ahead. Most rear-end collisions are caused by the vehicle in back following too closely. A. True. B. False. A. True. Following a vehicle too closely is the cause of most rear-end crashes. An orange and red triangular sign on a vehicle always means A. The vehicle has the right of way. B. Slow-moving vehicle. C. Shoulder work ahead.